One. Hello everyone and welcome to Stan the Wine Man TV. I am your host, Stan Rattan, and this is a blue collar wine show where I help you spend your wine dollars wisely. I just thought it would be really cool to do some very interesting white wines that kind of help you beat the heat. You know, these are excellent, kind of refreshing white wines that really are good on a hot summer day. And we've had some really warm weather over the past month, and it's just nice to have something refreshing, good, and interesting during those times. And also very good food wines as well, especially when you're talking, shrimp and crab, and you're talking clams, oysters, mussels, all of that. The interesting thing about these wines, and this is something that I really am passionate about, and that is getting people to try new wines. It's so easy, and I get it. It's so easy to get stuck in the rut of Sauvignon Blanc, Pinot Gris, Chardonnay, those just basic white wines that everybody knows about and are comfortable with those wines. But there are so many other wines, and one of these wines we're going to drink is an interesting story, because a lot of these countries that have done these wines have kind of shifted a little bit in what they're planning, trying to get plant grapes that people are more familiar with so that they can, of course, get their sales. But I think that's a shame. I don't think they should do that. I think we should educate people on what these wines are all about and help people to seek them out in a store. Now, a problem with a lot of these types of wines is you're not going to find them in your general grocery store, whether it be a Safeway, Albertsons, Fred Meyer, things like that, Target. You're probably not going to find these styles of wine. You might, if you get lucky, you find a store where they have somebody that's willing to bring these things in. I'm not saying you're never going to find them there, but more than likely you're not. So you're looking at wine shops or specialty stores, but these are great wines. So let's get started right away with a very interesting grape called Picpoul. And this is from the south of France, and they've actually named the appellation after the grape. Now that doesn't happen very often in France, but they did this. It's called Picpoul de Pinet. This is the Flores, Picpoul de Pinet, and this is down in the southern part of France, kind of near Provence, that sort of area. And this rolls in at $14. Now a lot of people would see this in the store and go, what is that? You see, and that's a problem. It is. It's a problem with wine. Who wants to take the time to find this stuff out? I mean, really, I'm comfortable with Chardonnay. I'm comfortable with Sauvignon Blanc. I'm comfortable with Pinot Gris. Those are the easy wines to get. But let me tell you guys, Picpoul is a great wine to seek out. It would be in your French wine section, probably closer to the bottom than the top, because most of them are very reasonably priced. $14 to me is just an excellent price for a really good white wine. Let's find out about this one. $14, kind of a hay golden color. Let's see what we can get on the nose. So this has a little bit of a kind of a honey element to it on the nose. A lot of minerality. I'm getting some white flowers. A little bit of melon. I'm even getting just a hint of papaya mango. I really like that kind of honey melon, a little bit of a wet stone coming through on this one. Let's see what we get on the palate. Nice acidity, very fresh, clean, a little bit of lemon coming through. Get that melon note, a little bit of white flower, and then that interesting kind of, I would say more mimic kind of papaya mango thing going on. Nice lemon flavors. Really simple, but very refreshing. Good minerality on this wine. I like it. I like Picpouls. Not all of them are fantastic, but I really like this one. The Flores is a really good Picpoul. It's kind of been a go-to for me for a long time. And I like the label, it has the fish, sardine type of thing on it, because this is a solid seafood wine. I get a little bit of that kind of honeycomb thing going on the palate. Finish, even just a hint of herbs on this one. Solid wine, like I said, very refreshing, $14. So I'm just reaching out to you. Are you willing to expand your palate horizons? Are you willing to learn something? You don't have to know everything about Pipenet to buy it. This is 2022. But if you seek those out, Peak Pool is a great, refreshing summer wine. I'm going to go straight up B on this wine. I think it's a very solid example of a Peak Pool. I mean, really nice complexity, really good minerality, but nice lemon, honeycomb, mango, papaya thing going on. Like it a lot. I'm going to go straight up B. Very solid wine. So just remember that. Just look for it. Peak Pool. And if you see that, give it a try. Don't be afraid of it. It actually reminds me kind of a cross between, maybe you would say, a Sauvignon Blanc and a Pinot Gris, maybe. A lot of people ask me that question. That's always a tough question for a wine steward. What is it like? I'm going to say this is a lot more leans towards a Sauvignon Blanc in the dryness factor, in the crispness of it. But at the same time, it has that kind of honeycomb or mango thing. So it might cross over a little bit. But I like that wine a lot. So now let's move on. Now we're going to Corsica. Used to be part of Italy, now it's France. This is the Domaine Vitrici Il Debut 2022. And this, my friends, is a Vermentino Chardonnay. $13. Now, I know guys like Kermit Lynch, and I don't know if you're familiar with Kermit Lynch. He's a very famous importer. His son's kind of taken over the business now. I think Kermit spends most of his time in Provence. But he actually, I don't think he's fully retired, but he's getting close. He goes nuts over Corsican wines. I think his son's the same way. Color on this one, again, hay, not as golden as a Peak Pool, but yeah, it's kind of a golden hay color. I've always been a fan of Vitrici. I like their wines. Now, they don't say Chardonnay Vermentino on these wines, but usually with Corsican whites, you will get a little bit of that kind of Chardonnay Vermentino mix. Sometimes more Vermentino than Chardonnay, but they use Vermentino a lot. Vermentino is used a lot in Italy. So I don't know how many of you are familiar with Vermentino, but it can have kind of a saline character when it comes from Italy. This is, of course, Corsica. It's an island. You should get some saline on it. Let's see what we get on the nose. I like the herbal component on this. I am getting a little bit of a honeycomb on this one as well. Almost like a toasty melon. Definitely kind of almost a little bit of an orange blossom white flower component. But that honeycomb comes through on the nose quite a bit, actually. I'm impressed. Let's see what we get on the palate. This is great wine. I mean, you can tell the Chardonnay in it. Has a little bit of that full-bodied element from the Chard, but it's hardly what I'd call full-bodied. It has a freshness to it, good acidity. The Vermentino comes through, you get a little bit of that saline, not a lot. I'm not saying it's really salty, but there's just a little bit of that there. So this has kind of that nice texture in the mouth from the Chardonnay, but yet it has that Vermentino, which gives it a little bit more of that kind of saline element. So there's a lot of melon. I do get the kind of orange blossom, sort of white flower thing going on. A little bit of the honeycomb doesn't come through as much. And not as much minerality as a Peak Pool. This has enough weight in the mouth to kind of go with chicken. I mean, if I had a chicken dish, some chicken breast, I roasted some, this would be good with that, good with halibut, but also very good with shellfish, prawns, that sort of thing. Just a really nice, refreshing, simple but good wine. And that's what we're looking for oftentimes in the summer, aren't we? We don't want to sit there and, contemplate the elements of the universe. We just want to drink some wine. And this is a solid wine, $13, guys. That's a great price. Corsica is such a good place to go with wine. They have that low-lying area near the shore, and they got rugged areas. So this is Ile de Butte. This is closer to the shoreline, and very solid wine. I'm even getting a little bit of a kind of a peachy sort of element on this one as well. Like it. I'm going to go B- on that. Not quite as complex as the Peak Pool, but still very good and refreshing and nice wine at a great price point, $13. Now, this is one that I just discovered recently, got really excited about. Now this one, not, it's still under 20 bucks. Okay, so that's always a good price point. Under $20. This is the Portilla Verdejo from Rueda, Spain, 2021. This rolls in at $18. Now Rueda is known for Verdejo, a grape that is very, very well known in Spain. We may not be so familiar with it here in the States. Now I know some of you, especially that watch this program, are familiar with it, but a lot of you aren't. But Vermentino, but Verdejo is such a great grape, and makes some really cool wines, very refreshing wines. And let's see what the alcohol content on this one is. 13%. Now what I like about this, all of these, like 12% on the Vertriki, and we're looking at okay, not to digress, guys, I know I should have probably looked 12.5. So these are all pretty reasonable in the alcohol range, which we like on a warm summer day. You just want to enjoy some white wine. You don't want to get drunk. You don't want to get hammered. You just want to enjoy your wine, right? Color on this one, kind of a nice gold color as well. So Verdejo, Verdejo, from Rueda, which is northwest of Madrid, really close to Toro, if you're familiar with that area. $18, let's see what we get on the nose. Yeah, this one has a little bit of apple, a little bit of mango, papaya, maybe even banana, just a little bit of banana. Maybe getting a little nuttiness on the nose, like, you pop open some mixed nuts. Let's see what we get on the palate. So this is next level stuff, guys. These are great wines, great refreshing, but now we're jumping up a few bucks, $5. Nice complexity, nice fruit. I get the nuttiness, kind of, there's a texture on it that reminds me of like mixed nuts. Papaya, mango, maybe a little bit of white peach, melon, a little bit of apple. All of those are there. And then some nice little spiciness on the finish. This has some serious complexity, but it's fresh and delicious. You're not talking like a heavy Chardonnay here. You're not talking Pinot Gris. Might lean a little bit toward Pinot Gris. Reminds me a little bit of maybe, well, not Viognier. That would be wrong. No, it's a Verdejo. What can I say? Like this guy is a 10 in the delicious category. I love the complexity. I love the fruit, but I love the freshness. The fruit is there, but it's so clean and finishes nice and dry. On the mid palate, you get that kind of papaya, mango, and the texture of the like mashed up roasted nuts, but not not heavy on that side. Just a little bit of that texture, and so fresh. And then right at the back end, you just get a little tiny hit of spicy kind of white pepper. There's even a little bit of a kind of an herb component that comes through on this one as well. I'm just as excited about this wine now as I was when I first tried it. I'm going to go straight up A. I think it's a very solid Verdejo, under $20, Portilla 2021. Definitely worth seeking out. So, these are great, refreshing wines for a hot summer day, but also great food wines. No matter what time of the year we're talking about, they're just great wines. And yeah, solid. So if you could just put that on your shopping list, looking for Peak Pool, whites from Corsica, predominantly Vermentino, so for Vermentino, and then Verdejo from Spain. Thanks for taking a little time into your day. I appreciate it very much. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel so you can see what's coming up. Sorry it's been a little bit of time. We're in the middle of summer. I work at a very busy grocery store in a tourist destination location, so you know it's very busy. I'm glad I'm able to get this one in, and I hope you enjoy it. You keep watching, and I'll keep helping you spend your wine dollars wisely.